All right. Back to you guys with another episode. And it's going to be a great one. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a great one. Hey, you guys may have heard me talk about Rogue Shop, and go to rogueshop.com, use promo code LAW, and that way you get 10% off of any purchases that you purchase from there. But I often ask you guys, if you're going through anxiety, if you have problems with sleep, if you have problems with X, Y, and Z things, check out Rogue Shop. They have a comment section there where you can go in and submit your request there for Q&A, and there will be a team of people that can reach out and talk to you. Well,
it's us.
It's I got them right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe. I have Rogue Shop owners right here in the building. Let the people know who you are and your name and everything.
Well, my name is Richard. It's my wife, Charmaine.
She
runs the business mostly, so on the chat, she'll be on there.
He finally admits it.
Oh,
I
saw that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's a great thing right there. So she handles all of the information for the nation.
For the most part.
Let's dive deep into the reason why, because everyone have a why on why they do things.
We have a lot of whys. We have a lot. It started with, my father passed away from pancreatic cancer. And we all, thank you. I appreciate that. And same for your mom. We know that THC is good for that. Of course, at that point in time, I didn't really know what it did, how it worked, and stuff like that. So my dad used all the stuff that they prescribed for you, but it wasn't hitting right.
Okay.
And then we had a friend who we ended up investing in their farm later on down the road. They gave us some stuff and they're like, hey, try this. Because Richard is a disabled vet.
Okay.
So he's living in pain every day from either his football injuries in the past or his military service. And he was kind of gimpy. He was limping around a little bit, swollen knees and stuff like that. Yeah. And one of our friends was like, well, you need to try this stuff, this CBD stuff. I didn't trust it because it was in the gas station.
Well, no, at that point in time, there was a CBD shop popping up everywhere.
Yeah,
every 2018 Farm Bill that was passed. Before that, there was no CBD products for sale.
Oh, wow.
So at this point in time, we started seeing these CBD shops pop up
everywhere.
Yeah.
One here, one way there.
We were like,
it was really sketchy.
Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't really for sale in gas stations at that point, but it definitely was something that we were like, what's going on with this?
What's going on with this?
Entrepreneur minded like we are, we started to. Once I tried it myself, I had a pain salve right on my knee, and I literally had a lot of pain where I had to limp around to get around, and I started taking that salve, and it really brought my inflammation down. And I'd say it probably took away about 30 to 40% of my pain. And I told my wife, I was like, this stuff actually works. Like, it actually is making my knee feel much better than what it was.
Much better than what it was. So with that being said, we have veterans all around the world, right? And they look to come back home and they look for relief. They're looking for somewhere they can alleviate their pain and suffering. And by you testing that out and trying that out, that opened up another avenue and a doorway for you to travel down that way. So what made you dive fully into this business of Rogue Shop?
It was the day naps.
The day naps. Oh, wow. He been able to go to sleep.
He fixed his knees. I haven't slept since I was like 3. So I tried some full spectrum gummies, and we do have those for sale. And I took a nap during the day for the first time since like kindergarten. And I woke up and I was like, okay, I've seen the light. Let's go. And that really, we sold the house. We moved to Oregon, started growing, and it just went from there.
So you guys took a leap of faith.
She was the type of person who wouldn't do nothing.
I never touched anything.
Okay. Not even an Advil. Like, no Advil, no Aleve, none of that.
Still don't. Like, if you have a headache, you take CBD for that. If you have a fever, we take CBD and some plants. Like, we still don't have like Tylenol. If you come to my house with a headache,
you'll get that headache about it, the natural way, the holistic way. Yeah. And this is paving the way for the future, because now people are getting more and more knowledge, more and more information on this Rogue Shop. And you guys be sure to check out rogueshop.com and use promo code LAW for all of your needs. And these lovely people will go ahead and give you all of the information that's necessary. So with that being said, how long you guys been in business?
2020. Well, so actually, we started selling flour in 2019. This was before we knew anything. And then someone was like, you guys know you need to have a license to sell stuff, right? So we were like, oh, cool. So then we went and got licensed. So we started, we were licensed in 2020, but we actually have been around since 2019. Peddling flour, some of the best flour grown in Oregon, hemp, and that's what we could sell in Texas at the time.
So when you say flour, is that a vernacular for the certain community, or everyone knows what flour is? Can you break that down?
That's a good question, Law, actually, and most people do not. Like if I start talking about flowers to the average person,
I'm thinking tulips and roses,
Exactly, right? And that actually makes me want to go back and understand, like, where does that term come from? Because, well, I guess it actually comes from when they're growing and they start to bud, that's actually called being in flower. So that might be why we call it flower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. That's why.
But
it's like a fruit. Amazing. So there's a point in time when the plants are in like a vegetative state where they don't actually have the buds, just leaves. And then when you flip them to flower, and when the sun starts to be less sun during the winter time,
summer equinox,
summer equinox, right there.
There's a whole bunch of
that's its breeding time. That's when it starts to produce the female flower will produce a bud, the male will produce pollen sacs, and then they will mate, and then they'll die at the end of the winter, and then they'll do it all over again the next year. All the seeds and all the buds will fall to the ground, and that's the planting for next year, and then it just.
All right, so legalization, some of the pains and things that you guys had to overcome. How long did it took you guys to gather all of that information to be able to present and sell and get licenses and beyond? Or was it an easy transition?
I would say, I feel like we're always still learning, because there's continually, especially now that Biden signed a bill that's allowing us to do research on cannabis legally. A lot of our stuff up until then was just self-report. It was surveys and people secretly admitting that they smoked this and this is what happened, So we couldn't talk about it openly until like really just right around now. I think it was last year he actually signed that bill into law. But so we were learning just hands-on, like as it came, just flying by the seat of our pants. And that was why we moved to Oregon, because a lot of people couldn't really give us the answers we were looking for. So we felt like in order to understand the end game, we had to understand the beginning. So we learned everything from literally planting the seeds in the ground, growing the entire crop, processing it, extracting it, and then learning how to turn that into medicine.
That's the wealth of knowledge.
But honestly, the laws weren't that big of a deal for us.
Right.
And they still aren't that big of a deal for us because we're not regulated like the marijuana industry, even though we have THC and everything just like marijuana. We're not what's that?
Subject.
We don't get taxed. We don't get taxed like the 20% tax like in California and Colorado and all that. We don't have like all the reporting systems that they have to do, which is good and bad. But we don't have to do as much testing, which is good and bad as well.
Yes.
But other than that, like we just had to get a license, and then we had to learn how to do the job ourselves, and a couple of little rules here and there. But other than that, like the marijuana industry is like you have to hire people and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have to have all the training,
all the regulations, all this kind of stuff. So we actually have the most healthy cannabis industry on the planet right now.
Wow. It's pure
here in Texas and most of the states in America, honestly, that aren't recreational.
We're going to get a lot of hate for that because we don't love legalization in the fact that the taxing and things, we're pricing people out of medicine. If you look at it the way we do, we believe that this is a medicine. Of course, there's always like too much of a good thing, right? But when you go into these legal states and we have people who literally just like they can't get out of bed without cannabis in the morning because of pain or whatever issue they have. When you have to pay that 30% tax to your state, that's really costing you a lot of money.
Let's touch on this then. Can you give us about 1 to 2 minutes of all of the benefits?
Well, I can put it down in a really small nutshell. But I think it's always really important. A lot of people don't understand what CBD is because it's really misused. CBD stands for cannabidiol, and it is actually just one tiny little portion of the cannabis plant. There's all these different cannabinoids in there, anywhere from 80 to 100. They all treat something else. They all each one has its own specialty. CBD is just the first or the second one that we isolated. We isolated CBN first, which is good for sleep. But people don't realize that it's actually best for them all to work together. So just taking CBD in itself, I mean, there's benefits for sure. But if you can actually get like a plant that has full spectrum, that creates what we call the entourage effect, and that does everything. So we're talking about inflammation, we're talking about anxiety, we're talking about pain. And I mean, literally, there's this saying that I have 99 problems and CBD solved all but one of them.
Wow, I love it.
True. It's true because it really, like, it's good for your skin, it's good for your hair, it's good for rosacea, it's good for eczema. Like, I mean, you can use it on every part of your body in some way.
Yeah, I mean, that is great. That's a slam dunk of information, everybody. And you can check out more of this information at rogueshop.com/law, and they will be able to assist you with all of those things there. Where do you see the future of Rogue Shop and CBD and all of the things that you guys are doing with your business? Where do you see the future?
We would really like to see legalization kind of open up a little bit more because, like, as it stands right now, each state is so strict in their legalization that, like I said, it's preventing a lot of things from happening. I would like to see that. I mean, obviously, I want to see legalization happen, but I want it to be more like alcohol and cigarettes, to where it's like, okay, you're of age, you pay your money, you get your product. Like, I don't want it to be tracked and taxed excessively.
But let me ask you this though: is it due to the unknown? Because everyone knows, like, there is a blood alcohol level that they would like for you to be regulated at. And far as the cannabis or the CBD, there's ways that it interact differently.
It's different for every single person,
right?
Yeah, so like it would be difficult to quantify that. Like, okay, if you get to this level, because like we've had this conversation us three about the difference between even men and women to a point. There's it has to do with like body fat and body composition, how much you can process. So like I can process more than you. So if we go out and, we smoke something together, like what you're capable of doing and what I'm capable of doing after that are very different. So I think it's just like anything else. So you have to be responsible. We're trusting someone to go out and have drinks and drive home. We're trusting them to say, okay, I feel confident that I can get safely there without hurting anyone. And it would be the same. It's like an honor system, and there is ways to test that. They're making breathalyzers for cannabis. But I think, at the end of the day, we have to be responsible people. We have to be empathetic towards each other and remember that we're on the road with all of these people.
Certainly.
And honestly, like for me, I don't feel like doing anything anyway.
Right. We just want to chill
anywhere. I just want to sit down on my couch and eat a brownie, like.
So you recommend for like first time users to make sure that they in the environment that they are aware of and that they are comfortable being at, and don't have to get behind the wheel.
Just don't be afraid, because I think a lot of times people have a bad experience with cannabis is because they overused and they didn't get good advice. So that's why Richard and I it's really kind of a pain, because we get messages all the time, but we have a live chat on our website because we want you to be like you. We don't want you to be alone. If you're having a bad time, you can jump on there. Richard and I will talk you through it.
Come on with it. Yeah. So you guys are
we'll
doing
tell you exactly what to do.
The counseling aspect of it. Absolutely. Before, that's
because
great.
We don't want you to just walk into a CBD store and just buy something and not know, because then you're going to leave and you're going to, this doesn't work, or you have a bad experience and you think it's terrible. A lot of people are afraid of psychoactive products because they saw movies where people act silly. You don't lose yourself.
Right.
You know who you are. You're just really tired version of that person, or really giggly version of that person, but you still can function.
Yeah. And then you're dealing with, of course, plants over pills, but the big pharma, they got unbelievable research and unbelievable money and lobbyists and all type of things that can make people disappear.
Well, we have thousands of years. We have thousands of years of accounts of cannabis has been around for thousands of years. So we've been using it safely for thousands of years. It's just the last, 60 years or so, we started seeing big pharma and regulation that wasn't there before. So we do have a lot of research about the quality of it and how safe it is. It's just a matter of, do we have the same research as big pharma? No. We don't have the money. We don't have the money for that, right? But
As of now.
It's going to get better, but I hardly ever meet anybody who, has had a really bad experience with cannabis compared to like people who've had issues with like certain pills and pharmaceuticals.
It's always good to learn and get information, and especially in this space of just not knowing. a certain thing of what things do to your body and et cetera. But now that you know more and more, I hope that it will touch that one person that have problem sleeping.
I hope
they
so
got
too.
anxiety, right? That's uncomfortable with a certain thing. And they go to the rogueshop.com and they go talk to you guys before purchasing, or they just go and purchase and just take that leap.
Yeah. Well, and we really rather you talk to me because
that's good. See,
it's not my goal to oversell you. If you can get one product that's going to do a lot of things, I'm going to sell you that product. Because a lot of times people come on my website and they're like, well, I have this, and this in my cart. Is this good? And I'm like, no, you only need this one. Like, why buy more than you need? Because that's how wonderful this product is. It's just, it does a lot of things.
And Shar, can you also expound on that your website just don't have CBD? You guys have other things.
We do have some other hemp-derived products. We do have hemp-derived THC, so there is the psychoactive aspect of that. And when I say psychoactive, we're not talking about you're going to see rainbows and colors and drooling in the couch. It just means it is going to cross your blood-brain barrier. It's going to alter your mood for the better most of the time, because it's going to work really well for depression and anxiety. And again, with those sleep issues, it will plug into some of those receptors and make you feel tired. And it helps you get into like a really deep sleep. A lot of people who have sleep issues like REM disorders, they're not able to get into that sleep. This actually puts you past REM, and then you just like wake up 9 hours later and you just feel amazing. You don't know what happened to you. That's me. That was my experience. And Delta 8 is really, really good at that. Delta 8 is actually better at helping you sleep than Delta 9. A lot of people don't realize that. And so that's why I'd rather you talk to me. Like, don't just jump on the website and buy the most
I'm gonna mix 8 and 9 together. I'm just gonna take both of them.
Don't do that unless you're a professional.
8.5. Delta 8.5.
On top of that, I saw on the website that you guys have for Fido. Everybody got a little pet dog.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what is the concept of that, for the animals?
So Richard has this dog on his arm here. This was our baby. He was our youngest child. Rest in peace, Azul. He's actually the picture that's on all of our like pet tinctures and stuff. Wow. We use our own pets for everything. They're our guinea pigs. But he had a lot of separation anxiety, and if he couldn't see his dad, like visually see him, he was freaking out. So obviously we have to go to the store sometimes. So we started mixing and matching in the kitchen and made him something with like real bacon flavor, CBD, same CBD we use. It's human grade, just lower dosage, because people don't realize animals actually have way more receptors for THC than we do.
I didn't know that.
That is why it is. You think it's funny to get your dog high. It's actually not. You're kind of like overdosing them. So don't do that to your dogs, please. Just use the CBD, light version only. And if you have a dog and you come on the website, we'll help you actually calculate the weight to milligram ratio, at least to help you start. And then of course, again, every person's different. So, and every dog too, and every cat. We have people that use it on their cats. If you can get it in the cat's mouth, more power to you.
More power. Cats are
squirrely, but it does work for them too. It works
it's like
everybody.
Trying to give a cat a bath.
Yeah, no,
almost nearly impossible.
Nope.
Yes, indeed. So in departing, any final words that you guys would like to give out to the community and beyond?
What about you, Richard? I talked the whole time.
She's excellent. She's excellent.
Shar's really good.
This is what I love to do.
Well, we're a small family-owned business, veteran-owned. We love what we do. So just stop by. Remember, rogueshop.com. Don't spell it rouge. It's rogue. ROGUE shop.com. And we'll help you guys out and make the right decision to make this an easy transition to the cannabis life. Me and Charmaine stopped drinking because of cannabis. It's been 3 years now. We haven't touched a drink. So we're both very We're both very appreciative of cannabis for that.
So is my pants.
Right. Yes, indeed. So in you as well, Shar.
I just think for me, I think, like as Richard mentioned, I was really afraid of all of this stuff. So I think my biggest message is always like, just don't be afraid. There's a lot of research out there. Like even if you don't trust me because I'm trying to sell you something, you can find the answers to this stuff out there, and you can see how good this stuff is. So like I became very passionate about this when I've seen so many people healed, and so many people. We have people with cancer that have their tumors have shrunk. People who are living years past. They were
Past
when
the
they were
time, the
supposed
doctors were
to.
lying,
Yeah, doctors don't know everything, and
Right.
that's a whole nother podcast we can talk about another day.
Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it.
This stuff really can help, and so just be open to the experience. And I believe that God put this plant on the earth, and He gave us a body system to receive it. So let's use it.
Yes, indeed. So He created it, and so responsibly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my job. I'm gonna teach you how to use it right. Now, what you do with it after that, I can't control. But
most certainly, I had a great time with these Rogue Shop superstars, and I'm telling you right now, check out rogueshop.com, and then also when you purchase, just use promo code LAW. Everyone that's listening right now, look, I know that this could seem to be taboo, but hey, give it a chance, give it an opportunity to change your mindset and your life. Also, go on the website and
let's talk into it.
Yeah, let's talk into it. And yeah. Oh, sure. No pressure. They're not trying to sell you anything. You know what I mean?
I promise I won't, guys.
That's the worst feeling ever, to be felt like you've been sold something.
I hate to sell. If I didn't use this product myself, I wouldn't. I'm not a Tupperware salesman. I can't sell Mary Kay. I can sell this because I use it and I love it.
And you back it, and it's a 100%. She told you guys her life story, and as well as Richard told you guys his life story. So be sure to check us out. That's all the time that we have for this beautiful moment. My name is Law Nation, and remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Salute.
Let's go.
Peace.